tough night offensively. How frustrating is it when you also give them some opportunities because of miscues defensively?
Yeah, it was another tough night offensively, and that can always be frustrating. We've had a little spell right now where we haven't swung the bats, where we want, but truthfully, that always happens in a season. Mm-hmm. The mistakes, though, some of the mental mistakes and some of the other things we could have done to stay in the ball game and play better baseball, that's always what's going to be more on my mind than just the at-bats. The at-bats, of course, matter. They matter a lot. Mm-hmm. But playing good, fundamental, solid baseball is something that we discuss a lot. A lot of, we talk about it a lot. We take pride in it when we do it well, and when we do it well for a long while. And we start with that on the first day of spring training. That's what I'm, more interested in talking about and addressing and focusing on.
Is that something that was addressed tonight after this game, or did you move ahead to tomorrow?
I'm not gonna get into details like I normally wouldn't about team discussions and things like that. But that is definitely something that's on my mind, and it's always going to be on my mind. I think that's honestly one of the most important things that we can keep track of here and stay accountable to.
Louis looked pretty sharp, especially early. I know those first inning home runs and stuff were something that he wanted to clean up, and he looked pretty solid out there.
Louis looked great. Louis threw the ball very well on these guys that he needed to attack with his fastball. He did on these guys who he needed to mix some things up and pitch a little backwards and some 80-20 off-speed fastball guys. He did a pretty nice job with those guys too. I think he had all of his stuff working pretty well one way or another. So very, very nice outing, I think, overall. I like the way he competed. I like the way he closed the outing as much as anything. He was still able to reach back and give us something good at the end of that outing. I think that was fantastic. So, you keep getting outings like that from your starting pitchers, you're gonna have a chance every game, and he did his part tonight. That's for sure.
You let him work through that jam there in the sixth. What did you want to see? What did you see?
I still think he looked like he was throwing the ball pretty good. I can't tell you that's an easy call to make. I think the easiest thing to do is just get the fresh, good bullpen arm in there and just let them go to work on a lineup that's already seen the starter a few times. So, I think that's normally the way you'll go about it if the starter looks like they need to come out of the game. And can't tell you every time we're in that similar spot that we're going to do the same thing. But in that. I think I went back and forth a little bit in my mind on it, but ultimately wanted to see him face the last batter.
Should Jose have covered third on the steal?
On that stolen base, there's the threat of the bunt, and you're playing in, but you have to be able to read it, and you have to stay aware of the base runner too. So it's not the easiest, most straightforward play to make, but you have to stay alert of everything going on, and there's more than one thing going on that play. So you do like it when that third baseman can retreat and get there. I've also seen plays where, regardless of what the third baseman does on that play, I don't want to overcomplicate this, but they can be left kind of out in the cold, regardless, because sometimes the guy will go to steal the base and the guy at the plate will bunt. And then you have to be able to, cover that bunt. You can't not cover it at all. It's kind of an odd play. They put a little pressure on us. I don't know if they both the hitter and the guy on second base were on the same page on that. There's no way to know that. They might have been just independently trying to do things, and ultimately it didn't work out for us because we let them walk into third.
And how about on the Vasquez throw to third? Do you think Jose should have gotten there, or is that just a risky play?
I don't have an opinion on if he could get there or not. Obviously, if the throw is directly at, obviously there's some communication there if Vasquez throwing the ball at all. It's not like he's throwing it to, Miranda, and Miranda is completely unaware of what's going on. He's obviously, making some steps, taking some steps towards the bag. But if the throw is in front of that base runner, you got to try to get in front of that base runner to get it. Could he get there? I'm not sure. There's no way to really know that. I saw it, but I'm not sure. I would have to go look and check again.
Do you see the hitters pressing with the runners in the scoring position? Do you like the approach, or is this just a matter of like not seeing the result, even if the process is correct?
Well, I think we're just in a spot where we're struggling. We have a handful of guys that are just struggling at the plate. I don't know if it's just with runners in scoring position. I really don't. I think yes, we have struggled with runners in scoring position, but we're going to keep working, and we're going to try to mix the lineup up maybe a little bit and see what that looks like, and maybe something sprouts and goes from there. But yes, we have been struggling once we've gotten guys on. Hitting with runners on, we can pretend like it's the exact same thing as hitting with nobody on, but it's not. It's not. And the pitchers will attack hitters differently, and you have to be prepared for those things. I think overall, approach-wise, I think we still have some work to do. I don't think we're where we need to be, and we're just going to keep working because, laying down or feeling bad for yourself, that's going to have zero effect and will only actually give you a negative effect. So we're going to stay on our toes, and we're going to show up every day and put in a full day's work and try to make both some physical and some mental adjustments to try to get where we need to be. But I don't think it's just a runners in scoring position thing. That's one sign that we're not where we need to be, but I think it's more overall.
The work that Carlos is putting into this to get out of what he's going through. He talked about hearing some of the boos, and it's to be expected with the money he makes. What do you want to see from him when he's kind of going through it?
I think that's a fair question. I haven't dissected what I want from him. It's not what I really want from him, or even what I want to hear from him. He's the ultimate worker and adjustment maker, and it's something that has led him to some really great places in his career, and he's a great player. He's been in spots before where he doesn't want to be, and he's gotten out of them, and he's gotten out of them every time. So, I would rely on his knowledge of himself as a player as much as anything. We've discussed this before with him, but again, he's got a great mind, and I know he knows several things that he can spend time on and work on. And I bet he's going to shuffle off to those things as time continues to go. And I think he's going to find exactly where he needs to be. And I think every guy in that room has hit certain spots where, you want to forget some games and some patches of games and things and all that. But adding to that, from my seat, especially with a guy that really does understand this game very well and understand himself very well, I don't know if there's any need to really do that. I trust the player, and I trust our coaching staff to be able to work through this. And we have a lot of baseball to play, and Carlos has great perspective. He knows that. He understands that. Adding stress to a situation never works, and adding ideas to a situation and adding some patience for yourself and some ways to actually calm down probably work better than anything else. And I think he knows that.